over the weekend, as my friend Colin Brazier writes that a deep gloom is descending over Britain, one atrocity at a time. He writes, events which rock us to our foundations, leave us unsure of our footing, fearful of what comes next, a sort of dark epiphany. Everyone will have their own. For me, it was the hideous murder of Lee Rigby, a British soldier slaughtered not fighting in some corner of a foreign field, but by deranged Islamists here on the streets of England. But sad to say, it might be any number of other atrocities. 7/7, Axel Ruda Cabana, the Manchester Arena bombing. We each will have our own. What is extraordinary at the moment is how we are becoming inured to horror. I do not say that vile attacks on our way of life have become normalized, but simply that their sheer frequency and volume makes some desensitization inevitable. As I started writing this piece, for instance, the court sentenced a Somalian to life in prison for stabbing a random Briton to death at a high street bank in Derby. There is a mounting sense that whether it's acts of terror or criminal savagery committed by illegal migrants, ours is a nation on the edge of a precipice. The thing about an abyss is that we have no idea where the bottom lies. Will we look back on these days as harbingers of a greater doom, even full-scale civil conflict? Or a blip before good sense is made to prevail again? But of course, lots of folks saying what's so shocking is that these incidents are just moved on from so quickly, especially by the MSM. Wayne Broadhurst, they didn't even bother to talk about his slaying by an Afghan illegal in Parliament at all. And as Dr. Philip Kizali wrote, after the weekend's incident, there was a time when an incident like this would have been in the news for weeks. But something equally brutal will happen tomorrow or on Monday. My country isn't my country anymore. The population is unhinged. The streets unsafe. If you're out and about all the time on trains in London, you just feel like you're waiting your turn. Mugging, assault, stabbing, whatever. It never used to be like this. We were civilized. And what was fascinating was to see this caller on Talk this morning actually put the point to a very scared Richard Tyson, Jeremy Kyle, who said absolutely not, that Brits deserve to be armed given that we are facing.
It was the time that the great British public are allowed to arm themselves now. There's that many psychopaths with knives running around, perverts and all sorts, then we have to do something. We just can't sit there and wait for this stuff to happen to us. I mean, I'm all for legalising firearms. I know it's not going to be a popular decision, but we're going to be able to do something apart from just sit there and just wait to die.
It's really interesting, Richard, because Sean, I don't agree with him in that instance, but I will say one thing that I've picked up in the last hour and a half is a real fear. I told the story of my son last night going back to London, 6:30 train, rang me after 20 minutes. A drunken man in his 20s was having a go at him, and I said, get off the train. There will be people today, tonight, tomorrow, and for the next few weeks who will be sat on trains looking over their shoulder, and it's an absolute disgrace that we've got to this point, isn't it?
Yeah, look, I don't agree with Sean either, but there is a fear, and we must pay tribute to the heroism which we actually hear about so often of just decent, ordinary British folk, and the stories we're hearing of the LNER person who is, we believe, in a life-threatening condition, who clearly saved lives. Truly remarkable. The fast decisions of the driver, and we pay tribute to them and hope that that everyone survives, of course. Well, with regard to knife crime, we know that stop and search works. The evidence is crystal clear. Once again, the lefties are trying to deny it, but it's all there.
Well, I'm not one of those people who's going to say, no, we can't be armed, because seriously, this country is changing and our enemies are armed. Alex Phillips posted on this: if we're going to continue to have psychosis-inducing drugs on our streets and a two-tier approach to police.
After this weekend's shocking train attack, Alex Phillips and Samantha Markle have had enough demanding that citizens be allowed to defend themselves and that the state take real responsibility for safety. Their emotional statements have reignited a fierce national debate about law, justice, and the right to self-protection. Share your thoughts in the comments. Should pepper spray be legalised in the UK? Is it time to bring back the death penalty? Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe for more real conversations and uncensored debates on the issues that matter most.
Girls, if we are going to see a continued frenzy of phone snatchings, stabbings and muggings as part of organised crime, largely corralled by foreign gangs, if this government is going to continue to do nothing about cracking down on both possession and open borders due to perilous wokery, and if the police continue to insist on wasting time patrolling social media, not our streets, then we need to legalise pepper spray. Sophie Corcoran argued that in the UK you can be sentenced for up to 10 years for carrying, not even using, just carrying pepper spray. And Samantha Markle, my friend, added, the ability to defend oneself using at least pepper spray to potentially save their lives is a no-brainer. The government is complicit in these attacks if they don't allow victims some protection. These offenders have to be stopped. Enabling this victim rate is a human rights violation. And Charlotte Gill added, if politicians won't protect us from rapists and murderers, what are we meant to do? We're not even allowed to carry pepper spray. How is this okay when politicians keep defunding the police? We need to protect ourselves if the state won't. Howard Cox, I'm sorry, at an absolute minimum, women need to be allowed to carry pepper spray.
Absolutely right. My wife has been crying out for this for a long time. There are other things. She could carry a can of deep heat around with her or something like that. That's legal. The point is, well, it is. And the point is, Dan, the thing is, our young women and our wives and our loved ones need to have some sort of defence to stop potentially what could happen to them. I mean, if I was on that train, I don't know what I would be doing. I mean, I had a set of crutches, because I had a hip operation a few years back. And I was wondering if I was carrying on a train like that, would I have gone up there and whacked the guy around the head with it? Yes, I would. And that's what I would have done. But the point is, there's no way a woman, and especially a disabled woman, an older woman, etc., can ever defend herself unless she's got something in her handbag that she can get out and spray in the person's face. It may be only a temporary measure, but pepper spray isn't a permanent disabling device. It lasts for about 2 or 3 minutes. That's all. But that's time to pull the communication cord and get off the train.
Yeah, I mean, Peter C. Barnes, when I was in Florida last year, the moment I arrived, my friends gifted me some pepper spray. It was great. Felt very, very safe having it. Googled, is there any way I could bring this back into the United Kingdom? Absolutely not. We're unarmed. We are sitting ducks, Peter. But first, this time of year, the air gets harsher, the heating's on, and skin takes a beating. Dryness, fine lines, that loss of bounce. So now I need to tell you about how I've been avoiding those issues through the incredible products of OneSkin, the world's first skin longevity company. It's led by an all-female team of PhDs in skin regeneration and tissue engineering, and their standout technology is the OS1 peptide. Instead of just masking dryness, OS1 is designed to work at the cellular level, targeting senescent cells, the troublemakers behind wrinkles and reduced elasticity, so skin can behave more like its younger self. By addressing aging at the source, OS1 helps support a stronger moisture barrier, improves the look of firmness and bounce, and smooths rough, tired-looking texture. The result is skin that looks and feels more resilient, better hydrated, and visibly healthier, supported from the source rather than just the surface. The range is simple but powerful. The best sellers, OS1 Face, a moisturizer and longevity serum in one, OS1 Body for crepey, dry or thinning skin, perfect when the seasons change, and OS1 Eye, their most concentrated formula for the delicate eye area. Every formula is dermatologist tested, safe for sensitive skin, NEA approved, backed by 5 published clinical studies, and trusted with over 10,000 5-star reviews. If you're ready to upgrade your routine for the colder months, start with Face and build from there. This season, don't just moisturize, support your skin at the cellular level with OneSkin. And for a limited time, you can try OneSkin with 15% off using code OUTSPOKEN at oneskin.co. That's 15% off at oneskin.co with the code OUTSPOKEN. After you purchase, they'll ask you where you heard about them. And please support our show and tell them it was via Dan Wootton Outspoken. Try OneSkin today. But now, back to the show.
Yeah, I thought the caller in the talk clip made the point that we just sit and wait to die. But unfortunately, I agree with everything that's been said. But let's be real. The only thing that's going to happen here is more clampdown on our freedoms. You wait for it. The excuse of digital ID. Oh, well, we could have known where he was if we had digital ID. We could, if we knew more where you were, if we know more about innocent people, the normal everyday taxpayer, we could keep you safe. That will be the narrative that you're going to hear, and it is terrifying. These moments are becoming far too common, and I think we are getting a little too used to them, I have to admit, but they are being used and weaponized against the state, and against the people, because the state doesn't want to do what's necessary. It will never allow us to be armed, and it'll never allow us to even the thing of pepper spray.
After this weekend's shocking train attack, Alex Phillips and Samantha Markle have had enough demanding that citizens be allowed to defend themselves and that the state take real responsibility for safety. Their emotional statements have reignited a fierce national debate about law, justice, and the right to self-protection.